You're going to buy the wrong motorhome. Not because you don't have good taste, because you're about to make the same mistake almost everyone makes. Go bigger. 30 feet sounds spacious, 22 sounds cramped. But talk to people who actually live in these things, and it's often backwards. Some of the roomiest motorhomes on the road are barely 24 feet. Some of the biggest disappointments are 10 feet longer. It comes down to a few decisions almost nobody checks: where the drive shaft runs, whether the bed folds away, how one slide out reshapes an entire room. One motorhome on this list stopped being made years ago. The owners still won't sell it. Let's start with number 5. Walk through the door of the leisure travel van's Unity FX, and the first thing that hits you isn't the size, it's what's missing. No bed frame sitting in the middle of the room. No fixed furniture forcing you to squeeze past it on your way to the bathroom. Just an open lounge, a sofa, a pair of ottomans, and a sightline that runs clean from the cab all the way to the back wall. People who tour one at an RV rally tend to stop in the doorway a beat longer than they plan to, because the room reads as bigger than a tape measure would ever tell you. Here's the part most first-time visitors miss entirely. That sofa isn't just a sofa. There's a Murphy bed hiding behind it, and at night it drops down into a real queen mattress. But for the 16 or so hours a day, when nobody's sleeping, that space belongs completely to living. One person can pour coffee at the counter, while the other stretches out with a book, neither one navigating around a bed that's just sitting there doing nothing useful until bedtime. That's the whole trick, and it's why owners consistently say this coach feels less like a motorhome and more like a small, well-designed apartment. The kitchen keeps that same philosophy going. A solid Corian counter, a 2-burner cooktop, and a compressor fridge roomy enough that you're not restocking every other day. Because the walkway stays wide, even with the slide tucked in for travel. 2 people can genuinely cook together without the sideways shuffle that defines most small coaches. Now here's the surprise nobody expects walking in. The bathroom might be the best room in the whole rig. It spans the full width of the coach, with a separate glass shower stall, instead of the cramped, wet bath most buyers have already mentally braced for in anything under 25 feet. The first rainy weekend usually teaches Unity owners something else, something that has nothing to do with the floor plan. This coach was built by people who think about joints and seams the way a furniture maker does, not a shed builder. The curved overhead cabinetry hides latches that don't rattle loose on washboard roads, and a deep pull-out pantry swallows more groceries than the outside dimensions suggest it should. Behind the wheel, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter diesel chassis climbs mountain grades with a confidence that catches gas rig owners off guard, and mileage in the mid-teens is respectable for something built this solidly. None of that comes cheap, though, and that's exactly where the story turns. Used units run from roughly $90,000 up past $180,000, and the payload rating is tight enough that experienced owners weigh their gear before a big trip rather than guessing. Add in the daily chore of folding that bed away every single morning, and you've found the reason this coach lands at number 5 instead of higher. It's brilliant design wrapped in a price tag and a routine that not everyone wants to sign up for. So what happens when a builder solves that fixed bed problem entirely without giving up any of that open, airy feeling? That's exactly where we're headed next. Number 2. Spend a few months in a Winnebago View 24D, and most owners will tell you it isn't the floor plan that changes how the coach feels day to day. It's the ceiling. At 6 feet 8 inches, this cabin has more headroom than almost anything else in the small motorhome category, and that extra vertical space does something a floor plan diagram simply can't capture on paper. Walk in, stand up straight, without thinking about it, and the whole room reads as bigger, even before the dual slide-outs do their job. The View pairs a front slide housing the dinette with a rear Murphy Plus bed system, so unlike the Unity, you get a queen mattress at night that tucks itself away by day. No daily bed making required. But here's what actually surprises new owners, and it has nothing to do with the layout. It's the power. Many buyers don't realize just how far Winnebago pushed the electrical architecture here until they're a few nights into a trip with no hookups nearby, and the air conditioning is still quietly running. Recent models pack lithium battery banks north of 300 amp hours, alongside a dedicated second alternator, meaning you can dry camp through a stretch of summer heat without ever firing up a generator. Most coaches this compact simply cannot make that claim. The kitchen plays a quieter role here, a linear galley with a solid surface counter and a round sink that does its job without asking for attention. The bathroom shower swaps the usual curtain for a self-cleaning roller screen, which keeps the whole space noticeably drier day to day, a small detail that matters far more than it sounds like until you've lived with the alternative and never want to go back. Tank capacity tells its own story too. 41 gallons each of gray and black water is nearly double what some competitors on this list carry, which in real terms means a couple can push toward a full week of off-grid camping before they ever start hunting for a dump station. This coach shares the Sprinter diesel platform with the Unity, so mountain confidence and highway manners feel similarly composed, and the cab seats swivel a full 180 degrees to fold seamlessly into the living area, turning the cockpit into part of the lounge the moment you park. Used prices land between $75,000 and $165,000, depending on year and battery configuration. So why does the View sit at number 4 instead of climbing higher, when it clearly solves the Unity's bed problem? Because the same lithium system that makes off-grid air conditioning possible also asks new owners to learn its language. And more than a few first-timers spend their early weeks troubleshooting a control panel instead of enjoying the scenery. If all that electrical sophistication sounds like more than you need, and what you really want is confidence to go somewhere that power system was never designed to take you, the next coach earns its spot for a completely different reason. Number 3. Point a late-model Thor Compass AWD 23TW toward a muddy forest access road, and you'll feel something no other motorhome on this list can offer. The front wheels quietly take over the instant the rears start to slip. That's not a marketing gimmick or a trim package name. It's a genuine all-wheel drive system built into the Ford Transit chassis, and it's the reason this coach shows up at campsites that other 23-foot rigs simply never reach. Snow-covered mountain passes, rutted forest roads, soft ground after a storm. The exact situations that would leave a rear-wheel drive competitor stuck and waiting on a tow truck become just another Tuesday for Compass owners. But the traction system isn't even the most clever part of this coach. That honor goes to the full-wall slide, which runs more than 60% of the driver's side and sweeps the dinette, kitchen, and wardrobe outward the moment you park. Picture the corridor once that slide is out, wide enough for 2 adults to pass shoulder to shoulder, which feels almost unbelievable walking toward a coach this short from the parking lot. At night, a flip-up rear queen bed drops into place, and by day, it lifts to expose cargo space underneath, a detail that owners hauling bikes or kayaks discover is more useful than they expected when they signed the paperwork. Here's the detail that catches nearly everyone off guard the first time they fill up. This coach runs on plain gasoline through a 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6, making 310 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, numbers that translate on a mountain grade into passing power that leaves plenty of diesel rigs working harder to keep pace. No hunting for a truck stop with a working diesel pump. The trade-off shows up differently at the pump, with fuel economy sitting around 11 to 14 miles per gallon, noticeably thirstier than the diesel coaches earlier on this list. If you're finding value in this countdown, go ahead and hit subscribe, because we cover motorhomes and clever floor plans like these every week. Here's something that only becomes obvious on longer trips, the kind of thing a spec sheet never warns you about. The black water tank holds just 19 gallons, meaningfully smaller than the competition, so extended off-grid stretches mean more frequent dump runs than View or Unity owners ever have to think about. Exterior storage is tighter too, at a little over 15 cubic feet. Used prices run $70,000 to $120,000, and the Ford Transit platform underneath it all is about as reliable and widely serviced as a chassis gets. So why doesn't the Compass rank higher when the driving experience is genuinely outstanding? Because capability without endurance only gets you so far. The tank sizes and storage limits restrict how long you can actually stay away from civilization, which matters if the whole reason you bought an all-wheel drive rig was to disappear into the backcountry for more than a weekend. So what if you don't need all-wheel drive at all, and what you actually want is a coach that simply refuses to break in the first place? Number 3, Born Free 22, built for 2 or 22 BFT. Ask a longtime born-free owner what they love most about their coach. And the first answer usually isn't about the layout, it's about what's missing. There is no slide-out anywhere on this rig, and that absence is entirely deliberate. Born Free built their reputation on a single continuous molded fiberglass shell with zero seams where a slide mechanism would normally live, eliminating the single most common source of leaks and mechanical headaches in the RV industry. Anyone who's fought a stuck slide motor in the rain on a competitor's coach understands immediately why that matters. Step inside, and opposing sofas or twin beds convert into sleeping space for the night. Here's the part that feels almost counterintuitive until you think it through. Because there's no slide eating into the wall thickness, Born Free packed in structural insulation thick enough to genuinely quiet the cabin, along with real hardwood cabinetry built by Amish craftsmen rather than stapled together from particle board. Fewer moving parts didn't just mean fewer things to break. It meant more room for the things that actually make a coach feel solid. The kitchen sits toward the rear, with a deep sink and a multi-burner range. The bathroom uses an efficient corner layout, and large wraparound windows keep the whole cabin feeling connected to the outdoors, even without a slide-out stretching the walls. Picture one person washing dishes at that rear galley, while the other pulls a jacket from the wardrobe just a few feet away, neither one waiting on the other. What owners discover after years, not months, is the real payoff of that no-slide philosophy. A Ford E350 chassis paired with a 6.8-liter V10 makes 305 horsepower. Plenty of muscle, but at a real cost of 9 to 12 miles per gallon, the thirstiest number on this list. What you get in return is a 55-gallon fuel tank that stretches your range between fill-ups and a mechanical simplicity so complete that there's no control module to troubleshoot. No slide motor to synchronize, nothing digital standing between you and getting back on the road. Owners talk about pulling these rigs out of storage after a long winter and having them fire on the first turn of the key, every time. Used prices range from $35,000 to $85,000. Genuinely the value play compared to the newer Sprinter-based coaches earlier on this list. And since Born Free stopped building standard motorhomes back in 2017, supply shrinks every year, while a devoted owner community keeps demand steady. Parts for the Ford chassis sit on the shelf at literally any auto parts store in the country. So why isn't this coach sitting at number one? Because that fixed, seamless shell that makes it so leak-proof also means the interior width can never expand once you're parked, and the fuel bill asks a real sacrifice every fill-up. There's one more coach on this list, older than every other rig here, that manages to feel even roomier than the Born Free without a single slide-out either. And it gets there through an entirely different piece of engineering, one hiding in plain sight underneath the floor. Here's a question almost nobody asks when they're shopping for a motorhome. Which wheels are actually turning the vehicle? On every other coach on this list, it's the rear wheels, meaning a drive shaft running the full length of the floor, right down the center, quietly raising the floor and splitting the room around it, whether you notice it or not. The Winnebago Rialta 22QD breaks that pattern entirely, and it's the number one on this list. Built on a Volkswagen Eurovan chassis between 1995 and 2005, it's front-wheel drive, so there's no drive shaft tunnel at all. The floor runs completely flat from the cab to the rear dinette, and that single mechanical choice, buried where nobody ever thinks to look, is the real reason this 21-foot 8-inch coach feels so much larger than its length has any business feeling. Owners who've spent real time in a Rialta will tell you the rear dinette is the payoff. Massive automotive-style windows wrap around it, flooding the back half of the coach with natural light and turning what could have been a cramped corner into something closer to a sunroom. That dinette folds into a proper double bed at night. The kitchen stays compact but complete with a 2-burner range and a dedicated fridge, and the bathroom uses a clever telescoping wet bath that folds away when not in use, quietly giving the floor space back the rest of the time. Storage is modest. A rear trunk and some overhead cubbies. Nothing dramatic, but every inch of this coach earns its place. Here's where the Rialta stops being merely clever and becomes something closer to legendary. Later models with the 2.8-liter V6 make around 200 horsepower and return 16 to 19 miles per gallon on the highway, numbers no other coach on this list comes anywhere close to matching. It drives like a European passenger van, with a turning radius tight enough that parallel parking on a city street is genuinely realistic, and a low center of gravity that keeps it planted at highway speeds instead of wandering the way taller, top-heavy rigs tend to. Plenty of owners use theirs as a daily driver, not just a vacation vehicle, which says everything about how livable this footprint actually is. It has real limits, and honest owners admit them without hesitation. The gray tank holds just 9 gallons, so water management demands more attention than any other coach here, and Volkswagen-specific parts take some hunting compared to a Ford or Mercedes platform. It's also the narrowest cabin on this list, so 2 adults moving at once takes a bit more give and take than in the wider Sprinter-based coaches. And yet used prices still sit between $15,000 and $45,000, the most affordable motorhome on this entire list by a wide margin, exactly why so many owners who buy one never trade it in. That's really the whole lesson of this list, and it's worth sitting with for a second. The Rialta doesn't win because it's the most luxurious, or the most powerful, or the most tech-laden coach here. It wins because Winnebago solved the space problem at the chassis level decades before anyone else thought to try. And nobody has fully replicated that trick since. Length was never the variable that mattered. The floor was. A flat floor, a folding bed, a slide that opens the right wall at the right moment, a shell with no seams to leak. These are the choices that quietly decide whether 22 feet feels like a compromise or like plenty. So here's the real question worth sitting with the next time you're standing in a dealership staring at a 32-foot floor plan. Are you actually shopping for space, or are you just shopping for length? Because, as every coach on this list proves, those are not the same thing. Which one of these 5 would you actually park in your driveway? Tell us in the comments. If this changes how you will shop RVs, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.